Hey you guys, it's me Max, and today we're here again in another episode of the Aftergame, and this is the first match of our, I believe, the 2013 Season 3. And this is our little qualifier, and this is a TVT on a map whose name I cannot remember because this is my first time playing it, so please forgive me. Now, I think we're trying to go to the production tab. Keep on forgetting that's D. I'll remember eventually. Alright, I think we're going to go ×2 faster this game. Alright, and before we start this, the original point of this was to, as I hope you would know from our previous episode, that our biggest point that we're going to try and improve on is to try and add on more production to help try and float less money. And I think we do a better job. Good? Maybe. Better? Definitely at least. Now, it's not ideal, but again, I'm not looking for the best ever. I'm just looking for marginal improvements. That said, now here we go. Standard good luck, have fun. Do get some credit. Nice manners. There we go. Building SCVs. Kind of standard intro. Going for the kind of standard Marine Marauder medevac. Although I do sprinkle in some Vikings in this game because he goes like all out crazy super air Protoss. And Skytoss is a thing, so it's alright. He and I take our gas right about now. Of course his is a bit before mine, but it's not too terrible. I miss SCVs for a little bit of time, but like so minuscule where I'm not going to lose the game. Send out the first scout. Built my first barracks in the background in a standard little ramp location. Scout, see that he has nothing besides his refinery and stuff, refinery and pylon. Then see that he pushes out the gateway, so I know I'm not really going to be expecting any sort of early pressure. I scout around, seeing if there's any sort of forges or proxy pylons, something stupid where might be some sneaky level aggressions, secret acts of aggression, and find out there's nothing, go back home. Build the first Reaper because another one of the points was that I'm going to have to try and get more map awareness, which that's a pretty easy way to kind of do it. It is early on. But again, that's not the main point of this particular game. The point of this one is just, again, trying to add more production. I go to try and hide it, but realize, may as well not. So I still send him out, though. I mean, I have to try and at least get us some information past my original SCV scout. Got my 3 works into gas, and my 2 racks up right now, so all things considered going pretty well. So, yeah, there's a weird little lapse there. Oh, my orbital probably is why it's happening. I know that I'm not going to really, I was about to say, I know that I'm not really going to grab anything from this, but it's really more for scouting. See the Stargate and realize something's up. Recognize the fact, or I see that it's building. I don't think I recognize the fact because I couldn't distinguish, like, hang on, it's actually any more. Yeah, I couldn't. I probably should now know that it has 100 more health than a gateway. I should have remembered, but I thought it was like 3 gates, like kind of like a 3-gate pressure. I mean, I probably wasn't actively thinking of Stargate play, but I learned quick enough that it is. So there's another point. Actually, that kind of goes back to our map awareness. And again, all I have is the same little annoying post edit slides in, maybe here, certain points. So I go in there, see that he isn't really applying too much pressure, so he's looking to be pretty passive. Realize this, build my CC, because I know that he doesn't have his, and he's looking pretty passive right now. He sends his stalker down to the low ground, look for the Reaper, which is a smart move. I just have him going batshit crazy down here by himself in patrol mode. He builds the first Void Ray. On a quick note, he goes for literally like pure air. Besides like maybe a couple of stalkers like this one maybe to guard the ramp. But yeah, he goes for like pure Skytoss, like, and that's not even an exaggeration, as you'll find out later. So I'm just, on that note, I'm back here, added on a 3rd Rex in the background, added on a tech lab. Because right now I'm expecting kind of like 3 Rex pressure, so I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna need a bit of tankiness for any potential like So I figured, we'll build some Marauders. And if I have concussion shell, help with actually kiting all that out. My orbital is now done. Both bunkers have some early defense. Sorry for a second, thought I heard something in the background. Building an engineering bay, because normally I'm actually way better about the engineering bay, but I'm thinking like I'm not too, super necessary, or the 2 engineering bays aren't super needed. 1 is nice, the 2 are nice but aren't required. Have my first little expansion down, throw down my first refinery in the low ground. Doing pretty well. I do get supply blocked, I think, fairly soon, but it isn't too terribly long. Stocking up a bit more energy than I probably should. But you see, like, I'm a little better. Adding on production facilities. There's the supply drop, which clearly makes me the best player ever. Realize that, queue a couple of supply depots up. Of course, make the new mistake of missing the freaking reactor, which is annoying. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for this supply depots to build before I start pumping out more. But I got a good, respectable size army. Oh, that's a thing. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Let's go back. There we go. Now basically I take the Reaper off the patrol path that was right here. Realize, alright, I probably should go back in, try and gather some more information. See what he's got. Up. See, oh god. Realize that I can still get around him. But only just. Get up. And then, boom, he got me. Then I'm thinking, oh god, mass void ray. The Dark Templar of the sky, pretty much. But now I know. Realize this. Realize that, well, the photon or the prismatic overcharge will just wreck through my Marauder, so there's no reason to build as many. Oh, here's my point of missing. That's what I do. I switch it up. So I start pumping out a little bit more Marines in my play. Add on a second starport to try and get another reactor on it, so I get good air control with the Vikings, which do come in handy later. Other than that, there we go. I started my +1 armor. Build the armory, so I'll be able to at least transition smoother into 2-2 and build the second engineering bay. Doing pretty well. Right now I'm floating a bit of minerals, but I'm floating some money, but my thought behind it at the moment was, because I think I also add, I do add a barracks into the next minute or so. See? But my thought was more like, well, I'll soon be eating into the reserves of cash I had when I start getting upgrades, so. But I probably could have added on a couple of extra things. Also, I probably could have took my 3rd earlier, but actually, you know what? Yeah. Real quick, here's another little point for improvement that I could probably, when it comes to things like this, he's ahead of me, or he's not necessarily ahead of me. He does have another base. Oh, God. Speaking of this base, this will become relevant for another point. Or more like the same point, but this will become important later. I need to try and at least keep up with him on expansions. So during like long periods of like just pretty passive play, I probably should try and take a 3rd base earlier. It'll also help lower my minerals that I actually like float, because right now he's beating me rather significantly. Although I mean, I would like to think I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm at least trying to build stuff, and I do build where is it? At least 1 medevac. But I do realize that I am floating some. I have both the engineering base and the armory, which I do end up getting, I believe, +3 vehicle weapons, which will be nice, because I see that, well, he's building up a butt ton of air. Anyway, so, build a sensor tower, because if I can see them coming a little bit earlier, it would help. Pretty sure, yeah, I scan in, realize my fears, thinking, oh god, he has just butt tons of void rays. He just have level 1 air weapons, so I do beat him. But it's one of those, the reason why I don't necessarily drop a whole bunch, yeah, this could have been easier, or earlier. The reason why I don't try and drop a whole bunch is that it's not like a ground army. He's building purely void rays, so it's much more mobile than your standard kind of like Protoss mix. So I knew I couldn't do a whole lot of damage with drops. I mean, I do try and drop once, but I realized that once he has that many, I can't move out. If I move out, he's just gonna likely move in the other way and just wreck me. tower because I need to have that information, which I'm doing better about. Which is again going to the whole be more map aware kind of things. Although if I'm right, this will be a glorious monument to my failings at that exact point. Oh yeah, I'm building the Ghost Academy so I can have it in the background. But yeah, watch this stellar play. Actually, before we do, see, I'm doing fairly solid on my upgrades. Odd that he's getting shield and armor before really. Oh, air armor. Okay, that's not too terrible. Goes for the fleet beacon. This dude builds just butt tons of Void Rays and butt tons of Tempest, which I was not prepared for. It took me like 2 or 3 volleys of Tempest fire to recognize what they were, because I was getting shot off screen. It was like a siege tank. So, but this is again, I'll insert a same little kind of drop down text right about I don't know here that I have to be more map aware. I've been getting better about it in certain circumstances, but not in others, and you will see why momentarily. Again, I'm just building stuff on the background, getting close to it. Alright, getting close to getting maxed out. Sit here for so long. Nothing happens. For so long. I eventually realized that, wow, why can I see this area of the map so well? And in the next couple of seconds, I realized, that makes it hard. That's my point of trying to drop with against massive air toss. I can't really do anything about like the lack of mobility because it's all air. Probably could have started the yeah, never mind. I have my 3-3 going. Soon I'll have my +3 vehicle weapons. Again, we're doing fairly well on the production front. I mean, doing better at least. And I actually have the Ghost Academy up and basically upgrade. So should I need to switch to say Ghost, if he for some reason decides to like do something crazy, I can do that. Move all my 300s that are from my first base off to my third. Have a barracks here. Again, just trying to do more, I guess, are making more production facilities. I build a nuke and build my +3, so we're just pretty good. Now, here comes the Tempest that I was showing you guys about, and this dude is just playing no games. But I'll show you where this happens. It's about here. Well, like, I want to make sure. Yeah, alright, we're before the attack even happens. So, I'm thinking, alright, we have +3 pretty well, on the way. I realize, alright, I'm maxed out. I'm incredibly close to getting 3-3 upgrades. I know by the fact of what he's been doing, and you could just, I had a really, really good feeling that he was not maxed out yet, because his units take so long to build. I figured, oh, there's no way he's maxed out, because the last time, a few times that I've checked, he has enough production facilities to max out really quickly. I realized now is my window of time where I have to exploit the fact that, sorry, needed to see that stalker die. I had to exploit the fact that I was maxed out and was going to have at least a superior upgrade advantage by the time we get there before he will be maxed out. So I move in right away. Of course, kill the stalker, pray he wasn't thinking about that, and just 1A everything to the front. Make sure not to, I 1A to like right here so nothing necessarily dies. Again, I had a good bit of Vikings. I didn't keep building Vikings though, but it wasn't really necessary. I built just enough to do good damage against safe Void Rays, because I do have a lot of Marauders in the mix. Move everything up. Probably should have waited for the rest of the force down here to come up, but we're okay. Hang on, that's really loud. This is very unprofessional, but it's okay. Master volume. Enable sounds. We'll master volume this down a little bit. Sorry, that's incredibly loud with my new headset. Alright. Now it's right about here. The point earlier that I made that I didn't recognize the fact that there were Tempest until about 2 or 3 shots. So right now I'm thinking 3 right there. Where the first volley came out, I'm like, what the hell is that? I've never seen that particle effect before in game. What the hell? Then realize, oh my god, they're Tempest. Dude built goddamn Tempest. I probably should have realized that when I realized that the dude was actually going for a Sky Toss kind of build. should have been my first hint, but it wasn't. But I realized that the second goes down, running everything up. I wonder if it's hard to fire them down, but it's okay. There's more there to raise it in. More raise. Like, not gonna make the same tactical mistake. Luckily, Emily tends to be good, so I'm not gonna block her. She needs pretty well here, not a lot. Once I have a yeah, I have so many more models that I can think about it. Game, and that's it. So a pretty solid game of TVP where guy goes for sky toss, tries, does respectably well. I mean, it's just he wasn't. I exploited the weakness of him not being maxed out, so that's actually I'm gonna count that for a point of kind of being map aware, but also kind of game aware at a point. I realized that, so I so as in retrospect, I believe we did fairly well on the whole add more production facilities. I mean, hell, we're doing fairly well. Here, let me show you guys. Yeah, I have just a butt ton of barracks. I have some. I have a couple of starports, but I didn't really need enough, like many more than that. I had the factory here for more of the, you know, should things be coming in trying to kill me. I need. Uh, that was unprofessional. I'm sorry. That was a burp. Forgive me. This is here as more of a watch out, see if anything's happening. Watch for maybe a proxy pylon. That would be maybe my fourth. But yeah, first point, I think we did better at. So, diddling, insert cool kind of graphic here saying, I think that our first goal was to add on more production facilities, and we did fairly well. Now, the second goal was to try and be more aggressive. I mean, I did one drop. I got enough information with my Reaper early on, and the one drop that I did, boy, like, it was enough aggression, but we could probably still do that. So, on the second point, we still have a little bit of room to improve, so we'll work on that next game. Third point was be more map aware. We did that fairly well. I mean, we scanned at, pretty pivotal points, got drop it on the third that noticed it had fairly good Reaper scouts. Better, but not, good, but not like as good as it, or as much of an improvement, say, as, again, production facilities were. Now, I think that's, kind of it. I think we're going to try and instill the same sort of mindsets. Although, I mean, I still, what you all don't see is that I still end up qualifying for a bronze 1v1, but that's okay. Didn't really lose any place. So, I think that's it for this particular video. Now, before we end it, let's try and determine what our next our goals are. Now, we're going to try and, since we did good enough with the add-on extra production facilities, I'm not going to make that an active point. We're going to make our next game, focus more on being way more aggressive. So, alright. With that said, I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. There'll be the standard outro stuff in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time.